You see, I'm a 30-year-old, so I'm a millennial. I'm like on the cusp of a millennial and a Gen Z. I'm what you can call a zillennial. My dad is a baby boomer, my mom is a Gen X. And these two generations, baby boomers and Gen X, they have very deep unresolved childhood traumas. And they don't even know that they have these traumas. They can't put it to words. And this became apparent to me 3 weeks ago when I was trying to have a conversation with my folks about some events that happened when I was young. You see how you can have something happen when you're young and it traumatizes you, and now that you've matured, you've become bigger, you process it and you're able to have conversations about it. So I approached them. I told them, hey, this event that happened in my life, it wasn't good to me, it traumatized me, and I want to get some closure. So can we talk about it so that I understand why you guys decided to do what you did? Guess what happened? They didn't talk about it. They were completely unwilling to have the conversation. And yes, I know it's an uncomfortable conversation to have, but we are all mature now. We can have these conversations. Like, I've brought to you my problems. Like, there are some things that are happening in my life that I've talked with my folks that you would consider uncomfortable conversation about my relationships, about, my love life, about my study, about my finances. So what is this about your life that you're unable to talk to me? At 60 years old, you're unable to have an uncomfortable conversation, even with your own son. And this is something that I did not particularly understand. And I see this not just with my parents, but with other parents for other people as well. Like, why are you still struggling with something that people struggle with at 30 years old? What do you mean you're still struggling with handling money? What do you mean that you're still struggling with relationships at 60 years old? Why are you still struggling with that relationship at 6 years old? What do you mean you can't resolve a conflict at 60? Why are you struggling with conflict resolution at 60 years old? When are you going to learn conflict resolution? These are things that people learn in their 30s, in their 40s. You're like 20 years late in learning how to resolve conflicts. What do you mean that you're still voting under tribal lines? And in your mind, it just makes sense that another leader from another community can never lead us well. It has to be somebody from my community. Even if I know they're stealing. Like, there's a time I'm having a conversation with my parents and I'm telling them, I'm not going to name the Luya leaders, but the Luya kingpins, okay? So I'm like, these people are stealing our money. These people, they're not bringing any development to our area. And my folks are like, no, but they are our leaders. I'm like, what do you mean they are our leaders? They are eating our money. We shouldn't vote them in the next election. It's almost like at this point, we are the ones who are teaching them how to live. And I don't know if it's because of the lack of exposure that social media has exposed us, especially millennials and Gen Z. So you have like a global perspective of things, and they didn't have that exposure, because even the fact that they have a negative connotation of social media, like they fail to embrace social media, they fail to embrace artificial intelligence. They almost see it like an evil thing. And this is why I'm saying, if you are a millennial or if you are a Gen Z and you have a baby boomer or a Gen X as your parents, you must ensure they have social media on their phone. Put them on TikTok. Okay? Do TikToks with them. Put them on TikTok. Let them scroll and see other baby boomers and see other Gen Alphas from across the world, because the perspective of our parents is our town, our country. They never even think about Africa as a continent. They never even think about what is it like out there. So you have to make sure that you, as a millennial or as a Gen Z, your folks are on social media and they are learning. They are seeing other older people. They are seeing how older people are handling things. They are interacting with different, things. All right. You have to be the one that is pushing them to have a global view of the world. And actually also some of them, you're pushing them to confront their traumas, to tell them, hey, by the way, that thing that you did while I was young was not right. And now that I'm older, I can speak to it, I can address it. I would also like if you addressed it with me. Okay? So we have to accept that for baby boomers and for Gen X, this group is deeply troubled. And they don't know that they are troubled because they can't put to words which traumas they are experiencing. And it's up to us now, you as a millennial or a Gen Z, to help your parents confront the trauma. It sounds crazy to think about it, but yes, of course, there are parents who have are way ahead of time and they have kept with time, especially the educated one. But if you had parents who, for example, were not fortunate to be educated, you have to actually be the one that brings them closer to them living a fulfilling life, because some of them have traumas, and these traumas, they affect their quality of life and they don't even know. So they are always sad, they are always troubled, they are people pleasers. Like I wanted to speak about my mom. My mom is a people pleaser. All right, so they are always giving their energy to other people, and I'm like, no, invest that energy to yourself. So I literally had to teach her that you have this amount of years remaining. I don't want you to put these years in other people. I want to put these years in yourself. Like, I want you to do the things that make you happy, that make you feel fulfilled. Whatever that is, we will help you to do those things. It is crazy, but it is true.